Going on Team The Sharks? It's Dan from Team The Sharks coming at you with my updated ZTB profile with the cards from set 14. And today we're going to have our cameraman Quinn, who's back from vacation.
Hey everyone.
If you guys want to know where Quinn went on vacation, please refer to the previous video with Bailey in it and look at the comments. Alright, so starting off with the grade zeros, we're going to play the obvious starter, Chrono Z. This card is really good because it only took them 14 G sets to finally give them a non-G break actual good card. If you don't know what that does, look it up.
Yeah, it always procs at grade 2, right? So you get rid of it,
it does.
On grade 2, and you pretty much would always have a grade 3 if you get one on top of the deck.
At the shop, we've had a lot of confusion about the wording on this card's text. It says you can get a grade 3 or 1.
No, it's fine.
Grade 3 or 1 card. So we weren't sure if that meant a grade 3 or a grade 1 card or a grade 3 or just any other card. And we settled on a grade 3 or a grade 1 because that makes the most sense. Yeah. Aside from the starter. Oh, I lied. I said we were starting with zeros, but we're going to work our way down from grade 3. So obviously we're going to play 4 Chrono Z. It's really solid card. Very solid card all around. There's nothing really to say about that.
Well, the most obvious upgrade is the striding for free.
Striding for free is really good. Every turn I find myself using the secondary ability to minus my opponent and then get an extra card on my field. It's really good. The play that I've been going into is I've been using this to get a grade 2, and then I've been using Split Pegasus to get 2 Transit Dragons, which you'll see later that I play those.
Yeah, that's a good solid combo. +2 easy.
Right. I play 2 of the Snakes. This card is really good because this deck counterblasts a lot. You get that
snake.
Right. You get that counter charge. Also, that +3 doesn't hurt. That's an all-around solid card. You could get away with just playing one of them. Aside from that, I'm playing the 1 tech of the Ox. Once again, you can just play around with the rest of your grade 3s aside from the 4 Jets because it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this card because it hits really big numbers, but we just talked about it before this video where I'm just going to call Chronovisor Heritage, that's what it's called. I call it Extra Turn Dragon, right? If you use Extra Turn Dragon, this card gets bad again. But if you don't go into it and you build a big G-Zone, this card is deadly, especially with the Sand Trigger in the deck.
That's why I'm playing the 1 of. It's good in certain situations. If you get it, it's not terrible either. So, up to you guys. Moving on to the grade 2s, we're playing 4 Party Dragon. This card is really fun, not only because it's Party Dragon, but because of the effect. It's really nuts. Multi-attacks. Strong multi-attacks.
Yeah, strong multi-attacks because it actually gets 2 cards.
Exactly. And it's a 10k, which its restriction is if you don't have any cards in the bind zone, it can't attack, but if
you always have this in the bind zone.
If you know how to play Vanguard, you'll have cards in the bind zone. Moving on from that, we're playing 4 Cruising Dragon. No surprise there, this card is really good. You can have multiple on the field, net 2 cards in addition to all your other combos. Really solid card, 11k attacker on its own.
Yeah, really good because whenever you stand it too, you get to use the effect again, not once per turn.
Right. Alright, we're playing 3 of the Unicorn. So this card helps you build a field if you don't have one. I personally, from testing, don't see myself using it too often. So if I'm going to have to cut cards, I might just cut one of those.
Yeah, I would run minimum 1 at least because I like the multi-attacks.
This card is good if you need it, but most of the time you're just going to be playing those.
Yeah, the cards that you maxed out are the ones you're going to be playing the most anyways.
Exactly. So. Plus it's an 11k attacker on its own as well, which is, it hits. Alright. For the rest of my grade 2 spots, I'm just playing these 2. I've seen a lot of people play the new grade 2 from set 14. I like this because it has resist and it gets the +2k for every other ZTB and it goes in the bind zone.
Card's good again.
It's really good. The resist has been helping me a lot against the Link Joker matchups and against Nubatama as well, which I've been seeing a lot. Alright.
Yeah, pretty much when you build a deck now, you're going to have to think about how it does against Nubatama. There's no facing it.
That deck is ridiculous. More on that in another video. 4 Arcas. Self-explanatory, really good. Perfect guard, recycles.
Yeah, and we just found out you can get this back with Metal Party Dragon to keep recycling Arcas.
Before it used to be a problem. If you get this in the bind zone, there's no way to get it out. Well, now with that card, you can just call it to a rear guard.
So you have more recycles if you want to last the long game.
Exactly. 4 Transit Dragons. This is still the star, one of the star grade ones, because there's another one that we're going to talk about. This card just gives you so much early game advantage, especially on your first stride.
I've seen, so if you're messing around with this deck and you want to put in your own text in the grade 1 slot, I've seen other people cut this down to 3 or even 2, but I like 4
You can
too.
do that. I think 4, like I said, first stride really gives you a big hand.
ZTB is still good at hands, even better with big numbers now.
Yep. So this is kind of odd, but I'm playing 2 stride fodder. The reason for that is because with Z you don't really need it anymore since everything's going to be in the drop zone. But from testing, you can call this early on, get a 7k attack, and when you pitch a grade 3 from your hand, you're not minusing at all because you can just use it with Z's effect to stride for free. So deck thins and you don't minus.
This stride fighter basically just became more of an early game push for the deck.
Exactly. The next new card, I'm playing 3 Lego Dragon. What can I say about this card? It's really amazing. It counts as a grade 3, and on the field it counts as a grade 1, but in the deck and in the drop zone it counts as a grade 3, so you can use it with Z's effect.
Yeah. Another thing we found out from time leaping is like if you're time leaping into a grade 1, you can't actually call this because it's a grade 3.
Right,
So
right. You can search it with your starter as well. I think what Bushiro did was, when they were building the starter, they're like, oh wait, is this going to count as a grade 1 or a grade 3? And they're like, oh, just let the starter get both. Alright, so now we're moving on to the triggers. We're playing 4 of this countercharging hog. I personally haven't seen myself using it, but it's a free countercharge. It's really good.
Yeah, why not?
My only complaint is that it doesn't go into the soul, it goes in the bind zone, but it's whatever.
It's better for other versions of your Chronicle,
Exactly.
the binding part of it.
4 of this bison over here. Push the soul, get +3. I'm probably going to end up taking this out for Heart Thump because that card does the same thing but better. And with this new build with set 14, you don't need everything to be a ZTB anymore, so you can totally get away with doing
You have
that.
a little more room, but the ZTB cards are really good.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Pretty much the only non-ZTB you want to run is Heart Thump.
If you don't have Heart Thump, then you can definitely get away with just playing 4 of these. It's perfectly viable. We're playing 4 of the sheep. You still play 4 sheep. It's really good, especially with extra turn dragon. You just get so many attacks.
It really is my favorite card in the deck.
I was playing against Jason, a guy at our locals, on Friday, and he used extra turn dragon with these stands. Before, I didn't think the stand was that good because I didn't really see myself using it too much, but he got like 20 attacks and it was just nuts. So I'm playing 4 and I'm trying to use it more often. 4 of the cutest heal I have ever seen in my entire life.
Let's just take a better look at... Oh, yeah.
Not only is this card cute and shiny, but it also has a really good effect that I used against Derek, who is watching us right now.
Yes.
Very good
I'm
card.
spectating this.
Definitely need it. Moving on to the G-Zone.
It does what all the other...
No. This video was affiliated with Alliance Swift Gaming Outlet, brought to you by D-Rec from Alliance Swift Gaming Outlet. Thank you guys for watching.
Okay. That wasn't supposed to happen. Moving on. We've got 2 Avenir Phoenix. Before I go on, I have to say that I've seen a lot of different variations of the G-Zone. Some people play this at 4, some people play it at 2. I play it at 2 just because some games I really don't even need to go into it. It's just there if I don't have a field and there's no way for me to get it back with Split Pegasus.
It's a really good first stride, and I don't think it needs to be at 4 either.
Exactly. Like I said, there's some games where you don't even have to go into it. You'll never see it. Most of the time, though, I am going into my 1 Split Pegasus. The reason it's 1 is because, well, you'll see my other choices in a second.
It doesn't need to flip itself.
Exactly.
So.
It doesn't need to flip itself. You can flip whatever you want.
Also, since most of the main deck gets a lot of power now, the +2 versus the +1 doesn't matter as much.
Exactly. My next choice might be a little odd, but let me explain it to you guys.
Right.
This card is really fun. I've seen a lot of Japanese lists play it, and I know that it doesn't really matter if they play it, but like I said, if I really need to, I could flip it up with this, but it's a good option to have.
Are you going to upload the video? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's fun. I've actually used it a few times. Enough said.
So back to our ad, Argo, we're going to have a match where Dan does something a little interesting with this card.
So if you guys want to check that out, we'll...
Well, their channel is also on ours, like suggested.
So check it out if you guys want. You'll see the shenanigans on this card. Like I said, I like it. Obviously, I don't go into it all the time, if ever, but it's there if I need to.
It's really funny, especially when you're late in the game and you don't have a lot of cards left in deck, and you just want to meme, but the only downside is it's Counterblast 2, which you don't have all the time.
Plus, when you run out of gear next, this was really fun to play against Messiahs, because your board's locked anyway. 4 gear next. Like I've said, I've seen some builds play this at 2. I play it at 4. I just think it's really good not to. It recycles, it restands, it does everything you want. Moving on. The 1 extra turn dragon. This card is absolutely insane. It is the sole reason for the reboot of Vanguard. Moving on. We play 1 of this. Most of the time, I see myself flipping this face up for Split Pegasus. And no, just that. I don't
Just
know.
that. That could be a
I
second
like
Split
having it
Pegasus,
as
right?
like a worst case scenario. Most of the time I've got my Jet Z, but like I said, worst case scenario, it doesn't hurt me having it in the G zone.
That's
so I
like
keep it
real
in there.
worst case scenario, but it's
Exactly.
still
You
there.
always want to be prepared for it. Like I said, everything works fine. You still use Split, you still use whatever you need.
With extra turn dragon, you turn your strategy face down anyways to use them again, right?
Yeah.
So like you go into those again, and you don't like this is fine. The extra space you can use for that.
Exactly. I like having it in there. The 1 Dust. What can I say about this card?
Forgot about that.
Absolutely amazing. I
He's
believe
rich,
on our
everyone.
channel we're gonna have a game with this deck where he makes an appearance. Don't quote me on that. Plus the artwork is really nice.
Do we?
I think you do.
All right, moving on to the G Guardians. The remaining cards of G Guardians. We're playing 2 of the new ZTB G Guardian.
Yeah, I activated the counter blast.
Well, the reason
It's
you're
okay
running
if you've
it is
got
for-
5 or more in your bind zone, but you really like this card because it's a ZTB and you use it for extra turn drag and get it out a little faster because it does require 4 ZTBs face up.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got a ZTBG guard so they can do that
Right.
earlier.
We've got 2 Uluru. I want to play 1, and ideally the other one would be the Time Maiden of Eternity from the Fighters Collection. I ordered 1 online, but TCG Player canceled my order a week later without telling me until a week later. So for the time being, I'm stuck with 2. If you want to keep 2, that's fine. Personally, I want to do 1 and 1. And of course, everybody's favorite header around dragon.
Let's just address
Yeah.
the elephant in the room. This card got a little bit worse because every fucking thing has resist now, but
Yeah.
you still want to run at least 1.
Exactly. This card has saved my ass in multiple situations, so that's why I play the 1 of.
Hell yeah.
Well, guys, that concludes my personal build of ZTBs post GB14.
14.
That's right. If you guys want to see matches with it, we've got plenty coming up on our channel. We've got 1 coming up on Derek's channel. Be sure to check that out. And please like and subscribe.